What's going on? It's Jesse. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And in today's video, I'm going to go over with you how to start tracking your calories accurately using the MyFitnessPal app. Now, I'll start out by saying that MyFitnessPal has a free version and a paid premium version, which I think is around $50 per year. But if you're just getting started, go ahead and use the free version. I used it for like 4 or 5 years before I finally upgraded to the premium version. And if you are new to tracking your calories, it can be a total game changer. And in my opinion, it can lead to a much higher quality of life, just understanding calories and how much food you're eating. And it could be the difference between eating 2 or 3 slices of pizza and just knowing for a fact that it's not going to hurt your results, or have the peace of mind to know that that actually fits into your daily calorie intake, as opposed to someone else who's just freaking out or feeling guilty or doing 2 hours of cardio because they felt like they cheated on their diet plan. And if you're a little bit intimidated to start tracking your calories, or you feel like you don't have the time, or that it's going to be really hard, just know that it's going to get much easier with practice. Just like anything else, the more you do it for a full month, you do it for 6 months, you do it for a year, it gets easier and easier, and it takes less and less time out of your day. And in my opinion, the upside you're going to get for the rest of your life of learning about calories totally outweighs the 20 or 30 seconds it's going to take you at each meal to plug in the food into MyFitnessPal. So what I'm going to do in this video is simply show you how I track in MyFitnessPal the different foods and meals that I'm going to be eating today. Now, if you are starting from scratch and you want to get started tracking your calories today, all you need is 2 things. You need to download the free version of MyFitnessPal, and you need a food scale. They usually look something like this, and you can get them for like $15 or $20 on Amazon. Now, using a food scale is something that I personally was very hesitant to start doing when I first started tracking my calories. And at the time, my coach basically told me after 6 months, you need to start weighing out some of your foods to see how much you're actually eating. And it really is true. If you want to track accurately and you actually want to benefit from tracking your calories, you're going to want to get a food scale so that you can know how much chicken you're eating, or making sure you're only having 1 serving of pasta or 1 serving of cereal or peanut butter. It's very, very important, and don't worry, it really doesn't take any extra time, maybe 10 seconds out of your day. Alright, so let's get into it. So the first thing that I ate today was my pre-workout snack, which was 2 servings of Raisin Bran cereal. I love the Raisin Bran cereal. It's high in fiber. It tastes great. Yes, it is a little bit sugary, but my diet generally is pretty low in sugar, so I'm not worried about that. So what I'm going to do to track this accurately into MyFitnessPal is I'm going to scan the barcode of the box of the Raisin Bran cereal, and that's going to input all the data into the app. But since I'm having 2 servings, what I'm going to want to do is I want to shift the serving size to say 2 instead of 1. Now, to make sure that I'm actually getting in 2 servings of this, what I'm going to do is place my bowl on the food scale, then turn it on. So this is going to make sure that the scale is zeroed out and it's not counting the weight of the bowl. And I'm going to start pouring my cereal into the bowl now that it's on, and I want to get up to about 120 grams worth of cereal, because it says here on the nutrition label that 1 serving is about 59 grams in weight. So I want 2 servings, so I'm going to double that. So technically 118 grams would equal 2 servings. And I'm having almond milk with my cereal, so I'm going to pour out 1 serving of that, which is 1 cup. I'm going to measure it out and then pour it in the bowl. But as you can see, this is why it's important to weigh out your foods, because most people, when they have cereal, they just fill up the whole bowl and, you know, assume that they're having 1 serving of cereal or 1 bowl of cereal. But in reality, you're probably having 2 or 3 servings worth of cereal. But all right, now let's scan in the post-workout snack that I'm having. I actually just did my home leg workout, which I'm not going to show you in this video, but what I'm having after my workout is 2 servings of instant oatmeal with a scoop of protein powder in there and some chocolate chips, which I really like to put in my oatmeal. So I have these pre-packaged versions of the instant oatmeal. I've got the high fiber and high protein variety pack. So what I'm going to do is scan the barcode of the box for this oatmeal, and again, I'm going to shift the serving size to 2 because I'm going to have 2 packets worth. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put the water in my oatmeal. I'm gonna put it in the microwave, and then when it comes out, I'm gonna pour my scoop of protein powder right in the bowl, mix that up. So the protein I'm using is the Transparent Labs Whey Isolate, and I could just scan the barcode of the container like I did for the oatmeal, but I'm going to show you how to use the search function in this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the search bar and I'm going to type in the brand and what the product is. So Transparent Labs Whey Isolate, and it comes up, and I'm going to select that, and it looks like the exact nutrition facts that I've got here on the container, and I'm just going to add that to my snack. Now it's time to track the chocolate chips. So what I'm gonna do now is place the bowl with the oatmeal and the protein on the food scale, then turn it on, make sure it's zeroed out, and I'm gonna look at the package of chocolate chips, and it shows that one serving is 14 grams in weight. So I'm gonna add chocolate chips until I get to 14 grams. Then to track this in MyFitnessPal, I'm gonna simply scan the barcode of the chocolate chip container, and I'm gonna leave it at one serving because I only am having one serving of these. And there we go. We've already scanned in and tracked the calories of my pre and post-workout meals. All right, now let's track my first main meal of the day, which is gonna be 2 whole eggs on an everything bagel, along with a side of liquid egg whites that I'm gonna put some spinach and some onions in. So first things first, for meals that you're actually gonna be cooking, I highly recommend using a 0-calorie cooking spray as compared to like oil or butter on the pan, because oil and butter are super high in fat and for that reason are very calorie dense. So if you're using that every time you cook, it's definitely gonna add several hundred calories to the end of your total calories each day. Now for the eggs, I'm gonna scan in the barcode on the carton, or you can just search in the search function for eggs. Most eggs are generally about the same amount of calories, usually about 60 calories or so, and I'm gonna have 2 of them, so I'm gonna make sure to switch the serving size to 2. For the bagel I'm having, I like these Thomas Everything bagels, so I'm gonna scan in the barcode for that, and that's gonna input the calories right into MyFitnessPal for me. And I am putting ketchup on my bagel, so I'm actually gonna scan in 1 serving of ketchup as well, which is barely anything, right? Very few calories, but I still want to be as accurate as possible. Now, for the egg white omelet on the side, I'm actually going to pour out 15 tablespoons worth of liquid egg whites just because I want to be as accurate as possible, and each serving is 3 tablespoons. So I'm using 15 tablespoons because I want a very specific amount of protein. I want 25 grams of protein worth of egg whites. And again, super simple. I'm just gonna scan in the barcode of the liquid egg white container and shift the serving size to 5. Now, there's very few things that I say you don't need to track at all, but spinach and onions are probably one of those things. I'm not even gonna track this. The entire bag of spinach is like 10 calories or something like that, and I'm only using a handful of spinach, so that's something I'm not even gonna track. Another thing you don't have to track is like black coffee. Like, you should track the creamer or anything you use inside of it, but coffee itself, something you don't have to track. Same goes for seasoning. You know, salts, pepper, other types of seasoning, those don't have any calories either. And there we go. That first meal is tracked very accurately, and I didn't even need to use the food scale for this one. All right, now let's scan in a snack that I'm having later in the day, which is 2 servings of low-fat cottage cheese, and I'm gonna add a banana to that as well. So this is an example of where we really need to use the food scale. So I'm looking at the container of cottage cheese, and it says 1 serving is 113 grams. So if I want 2 servings, I need 226 grams. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place the bowl on the food scale, and then I'm gonna turn it on so it's zeroed out, and I'm going to pour in cottage cheese until I get to 226 grams. And again, this is a super easy track because all I have to do is scan in the barcode of that container of cottage cheese and then switch the serving size to 2. Now, for the banana, I'm actually going to turn off the food scale. I'm gonna keep the plate of cottage cheese on there, and I'm gonna turn it back on so it's zeroed out again, and I'm gonna actually break up the banana into pieces and just put it right in the cottage cheese because I'm weird and I like to eat stuff like that. But yes, I do want to weigh this out, and you might say that, you know, a banana's a banana and they're all about the same calories. That's not true. I've seen bananas that are way smaller and way bigger than other ones, right? So I am going to weigh this out just because it takes 5 seconds to do so, and I'll be tracking as accurately as possible. So there we go. I know exactly how much this banana weighs, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the search function for this one because obviously there's no barcode on a banana. So I'm going to search for banana, and luckily MyFitnessPal has a million search results for that. I'm going to select the one that has the green check mark, and I'm going to change the serving size to how many grams my banana was. Very simple, right? And my snack is accurately tracked in there in MyFitnessPal. Now, the final meal that I'm eating today that I'm going to show you is ground turkey with some rice and broccoli. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the nutrition label for this ground turkey. One serving is generally about 4 ounces, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh this out. I'm going to have 2 servings of it, so I want 8 ounces. I'm going to put the plate on the food scale. Then I'm going to turn it on, make sure it's zeroed out, and I'm going to add ground turkey to the plate until it's about 8 ounces. And when it comes to meats, I really recommend you weigh them raw before you cook them, because during the cooking process, oftentimes the portion sizes are totally different and skewed compared to when you just weigh it raw. And then once I have it portioned out, I can go ahead and cook it. But how I'm going to track this in MyFitnessPal is I'm just going to scan the barcode of this ground turkey package. It's going to enter the details right in, and I'm going to make sure that I switch the serving size to 2 since I'm having 8 ounces. Now, for my rice, I like to buy individually packaged rice. They're portioned out into 1 serving each, just because rice is very easy to overeat. It's like cereal. If you just pile it on your plate, you're likely having 2 or 3 or 4 servings of it. So I'm gonna just scan the barcode of this package of rice that I have, and this is super easy. It's minute rice. I put it in the microwave for a minute and it's ready to go. That's another reason I like it, because it's super convenient and it doesn't take an extra 10 or 15 minutes to cook. But if you're eating rice some other way, or it's bagged rice, or some other way you're preparing it, you're gonna need to look at the nutrition label, see what 1 serving is, and compare that to how much you're having. Now, to track the broccoli, I always keep frozen broccoli in my freezer just because it's convenient. I can take it out whenever I need to and put it in the microwave for 2 minutes and it's ready to go. It doesn't require any preparation or cooking on my part because I'm a terrible cook. I have no idea what I'm doing. So this is very easy, very quick and convenient. But also, I noticed that if I was buying fresh broccoli and leaving it in the fridge, it would go bad, you know, in a week or whatever, and I wouldn't make it, and I had a lot of broccoli going bad, so that's why I prefer the frozen broccoli. But anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my plate or my bowl on the food scale, then I'm gonna turn it on, make sure it's zeroed out like every other time, and I'm gonna add my broccoli until I get 100 grams of it. I'm gonna have 100 grams worth of broccoli, and then I'm good to go. Now, because this is frozen broccoli and it does come in a bag and a package, I could just scan in the barcode of this broccoli and select 100 grams, but I'm gonna show you how to use the search function for this. So I'm gonna search for broccoli, you know, I'm gonna select the one with the green check mark, and I'm gonna switch it to grams, because I know I have 100 grams of it, and I'm going to enter that right in. And for this meal, I'm adding some seasoning and some pepper and stuff to it, but like I said before, you don't need to track these because they don't have any calories. All right, now that you've seen how I've tracked the meals that I've eaten here at home today, I'm gonna show you how to track meals that you might get out at a chain restaurant or, you know, some fast food place, because the truth is they're actually very easy to track since these bigger companies and chain restaurants have the resources to figure out the calories and the macros for each of their meals. So for example, if you find yourself at McDonald's and you're getting an Egg McMuffin, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go in MyFitnessPal and use the search function and type in the name of the restaurant you're at, so McDonald's, and then the exact name of the item that you're eating. So McDonald's Egg McMuffin, and you'll see these pop up, and one of them should have a green check mark, and you can select that and enter it right in, and you're good to go. And if you have any doubt, you can always cross-reference this with the website, right? McDonald's website has listed the calories for each meal that they've got. You could do the same for any place at all, right? You find yourself at Dunkin' Donuts, you could type in Dunkin' Donuts Boston Cream Donut and easily find a donut that you could track there, or Dunkin' Donuts Power Breakfast Sandwich, and find that. It tells you exactly how many calories, and you just select the right one. And you can use this search function for pretty much any restaurant you go to, but keep in mind, that the larger corporations and the more chain restaurants are going to be the ones that likely have the calories listed and you can find in the database of MyFitnessPal. The smaller mom and pop shops are probably not going to have them. And to finish off this video, what I'd like to do is give you an example of how to estimate calories for a particular meal, probably that you buy out, and how to do it the most accurately as possible. So what I recommend doing is searching in the search function for each ingredient of the meal that you eat out. That's going to give you the best chance to be as accurate as possible. And here's an example. If you get a meal like a hibachi dinner, right? Like, say you get hibachi chicken, which includes lo mein and fried rice and vegetables and the chicken itself. Instead of searching in MyFitnessPal for chicken hibachi dinner as a whole and trying to get, you know, an overall amount of calories, I would search for each individual ingredient. So what I'm gonna do in this situation is go into the search bar and search for each individual thing. So I'm gonna start with plain lo mein, right? So I'm gonna find one that I think is probably about one serving or the serving size that they gave me. I'm gonna select that and I'm gonna add that to my meal or my dinner, whatever, you know, meal this is. Next, I'm gonna go on to the next ingredient, which is the fried rice. So I'm gonna search for fried rice. I'm gonna find one that I think is about accurate. There's gonna be, you know, plenty of search results for that. So I'm gonna try to find one that seems appropriate, and I'm gonna add that in as well. Next, I'm gonna do the same with the vegetables. So I'm gonna search for like hibachi mixed vegetables or something along those lines. Find one that seems good, add that as well. And then I'm gonna go with chicken breast, just because I know that they used about one good slice of, you know, like a 6-ounce chicken breast or something like that. So I'm gonna find that, add that as well. And that covers all the main ingredients of that meal, right? If they gave me also a salad with, you know, some dressing, I would probably search for that as well. I'd probably search for like hibachi ginger salad dressing or something like that. I would, you know, if they gave me soup, generally like miso soup is like 5 calories, so that might be another thing that you can probably skip. But this is how I would track as accurately as possible, and I'd still be estimating, and it would still be probably a little bit off from what the reality is, but this is going to be the best way to go about it. And this is a case where you want to use your best judgment, right? If you enter in all these ingredients and the total calories comes out to like 400 calories, but you just ate a huge plate of this massive hibachi meal that you know wasn't only 400 calories, then you may want to look and see where you underestimated. I personally like to overestimate when I'm eating out because they're always using extra sauces and butters and stuff that maybe we're not aware of. So I would actually do that because with hibachi, they show you they're adding plenty of butter, they're adding plenty of oil. I would probably add in 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil to this meal. I would probably add in 1 tablespoon of butter to this meal as well. And as you get more experienced with tracking and seeing how many calories certain meals and certain foods are, you know, you'll be better able to tell if this is accurate or not. This is a skill that improves as you have more experience. And, you know, you'll realize that, like, okay, this hibachi meal is probably like 1,000 calories or close to 1,200 calories as opposed to 400. But that wraps up the video, man. I really hope this was helpful and gave you some clarity on how to start tracking your calories more accurately and be able to see how to use MyFitnessPal to do so. One other tool that I like to use when just starting out tracking, even to this day I still use it to cross-reference with MyFitnessPal if you're not exactly sure if what you're tracking is accurate, is the website calorieking.com. This is an awesome website where you can search any food, strawberries, almonds, sweet potato, anything at all, and it will give you a similar kind of search result as MyFitnessPal, but they're very accurate. You can switch the serving size to exactly what you ate, and you can cross-reference that with MyFitnessPal. But thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and click subscribe if you want to get notified when I make more videos just like this every single week. And if you'd like to connect or check out my Modern Man program, go ahead and check the description of this video where I've got some additional details for you as well. And I will see you on the next video.